Good morning from the National Weather Service in Pocatello. My name is Carter, and this is your Southeast Idaho weather hazard briefing for Thursday, June 30th. Do have high pressure across much of the region for today into Friday. Just seeing a few showers this morning across the southern higher elevations that'll taper off throughout the day. And we're looking at some weekend mountain storms starting to fill in with some breezier winds throughout the holiday weekend, and I'll be breaking that down for you this morning. Some key points we're going to focus on today. Do the high pressure wind control with just a slight warming trend into the weekend. So we saw temperatures slightly cooler for today, just about normal in the mid 80s for much of our area. But we'll see those temperatures continue to climb back into the low 90s for many of our lower elevation zones and still in the 70s and 80s in the mountains. So we're going to see that continued dry weather with just a slight chance of our storms today south. Looking at the early morning radar reflectivity, just looking at some mainly just dry shower stuff that's not a whole lot of precipitation making it down to the surface, but we will see some increased afternoon convection. Returning Friday across the higher terrain, a little bit more widespread as we get into the holiday weekend, and winds are going to be increasing. So we'll have an area of low pressure working its way in from the Pacific coast through early part of next week. So we'll have some increasing winds and slightly cooler temperatures on your Monday. But the 4th of July weekend forecast looking overall pretty pleasant outside of the mountains. We're just going to see those some mountain thunderstorms and some breezier wind potential working in for Sunday into Monday. After that, we're going to kick off a pretty long and prolonged period of dry and warm weather. So by midweek next week, we'll be back in the upper 90s for places like Pocatello across the Snake Plain. So looking like a fairly warm and dry period following this weekend. Satellite view this morning, just showing at least the departing showers, stuff that's going to be across our southern regions today. Start to see these clouds start to fill in a little bit more across the Snake Plain earlier this morning, filling up into the eastern highlands by this afternoon. But showers, again, should stay confined just to the southern locations for today. A little bit better coverage over the next couple of days as we get towards the weekend. Weather risk outlook today, mainly just concerned about the showers and storms along the southern border, but it won't be a huge concern as we get towards this afternoon as skies do begin to mostly clear out. So it's going to be an overall pretty pleasant day, slightly warmer temperatures with winds much lighter than they were yesterday. For Friday, we're going to have a return to some breezy winds across the Snake Plain and slightly increased coverage along the Idaho, Utah, and Idaho-Wyoming borders for some showers and storms. And we're also going to see that increase in coverage again headed into the weekend with that breezier wind potential returning for your Sunday into Monday. Strongest winds are going to be around the Monday, so we'll start to see the departing system on your Monday, so you'll have temperatures slightly cool, but those stronger winds will be there for July 4th. Did have the Sugarloaf fire start near Jerome yesterday, so this is estimated at about 5,000 acres, with the BLM reporting as far as estimating containment later today. Just geographical wise, it's going to be just north of Twin Falls, so we're going to have very dry conditions across much of our lower elevation zones, so really prime fire behavior and characteristics, so any fires that do start won't have much trouble as far as maintaining themselves and spreading. Certainly something to keep in mind for this time of year is to continue practicing fire safety awareness. High temperatures today, overall pretty pleasant. We'll be in the mid-70s in the mountains, further south and west near 90 degrees, but overall pretty pleasant day with the winds again. Slightly breezy out towards the Arco-INL area, but that's pretty much every day here in southeast Idaho. Keep it with the breezy wind potential, slightly less as you get towards the I-15, I-86, and I-84 corridors. Temperatures on Friday, so we're going to see those temperatures warm up through Saturday into Sunday. So we're back in the mid-80s, further north in the mountains, but as you head further south, going to be back in the 90s, further south. So looking pretty warm on your Friday afternoon. Wind gusts on Friday, so we're seeing that potential for a little bit stronger winds for Friday afternoon out towards the INL area, but overall, nothing to be too concerned about, generally less than 35 miles an hour. High temperatures on Saturday, so this looks to be one of the warmer days of the weekend. So starting off your 4th of July weekend, we'll be in the 70s and 80s in the mountains, pushing 90 degrees up near Salmon. But further south, we'll be in the low to mid-90s, so Pocatello 91, and about the mid-90s as you head further into central Idaho. Wind gusts on Saturday, not looking to be as impressive as we saw on Friday, but again, just slightly breezy afternoon winds each day as we have some mountain showers kicking off, and those could produce some gusty winds, small hail, but not a huge potential for that, just mainly confined in the mountains. High temperatures on Sunday, pretty much a carbon copy of what we saw on Saturday, so keeping those temperatures in the mid-80s in the mountains. As you head further south into the Snake Plain, we're looking at the low 90s for your Sunday afternoon. And with that system kind of arriving for your Sunday, we'll have a tightening upper-level gradient supporting some stronger winds as we get towards Sunday afternoon. So looking at about winds between 35 to 40 miles an hour across much of southeast Idaho, and we'll continue to see that through Monday as well as the system departs to our east. Slightly cooler temperatures for your Monday as showers do progress further north, but we'll have those temperatures again in the mid-80s, so slightly cooler from the 90s, what we saw earlier in the week. But we'll for your July 4th, looking overall pretty pleasant with just some showers across the North Country and some breezy winds. Wind gusts on Monday again. Yeah, we're mainly going to be concerned about those northern areas, so precipitation looks to stay confined, if any, just to our northern locations, and that's kind of where we'll see those strongest winds lining up as well. And in summary today, do see how that high pressure in control with some slight warming trend as we head into the weekend. Looking at a few showers this morning along the Idaho-Utah border, but should be mostly clear skies for just about everybody today. Increased afternoon convection does return Friday across the higher terrain, with winds increasing each day through Monday. It looks like those strongest winds are going to be moving through Sunday into Monday. 4th of July weekend looking overall pretty pleasant. It'll be pretty warm for your Saturday and Sunday. Slightly cooler on Monday as we have a low pressure system arriving in our area. But mainly impacts are going to be from that is just the mountain afternoon thunderstorms, coupled with that with some breezy winds, but it should be an overall pretty pleasant weekend. But that wraps up your weather briefing for today, Thursday, June 30th. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to send us an email, give us a call, or check out some information on our website. Have a wonderful day.